What's going on, guys? It's Tactical Trash Panda with Talking Trash with Panda, episode 3. Sorry, guys, I was trying to figure this out, but tonight we have a special guest. But before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to our channel sponsor, New Print Custom Firearms. They do amazing work when it comes to milling, lasering, custom Cerakote. They are licensed FFL. So if you need to send anything out to them, they have no problem. Make sure to reach out to them. And here is their information right there. I will add their info right here. Sorry about that. But you could reach them on Instagram or Facebook. They do have a page on Facebook. If you're interested, make sure you message them and they will get back to you very shortly. Their return time is very, very quick. So anything you want, let them know. They'll talk with them and they'll do their best to get what you want as quick as possible. And their turnaround time is, like I said, very short. So now that that's done, let's get to the live. All right, so I want to bring in my co-host. You all know him, Angry Sarge. How's it going,
guys?
Sarge?
How are you, man? You ready?
I'm ready. Ready as can be.
Good. This will be fun. This will be an interesting
It will
show.
be fun. So before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to all the people that's here in the live. We got, oh man, we got this guy named Angry. We got an impersonator saying he was here first. Angry Sarge impersonator in the live chat saying he was here first. Marconi Armory, thank you for joining us. Caleb. CarbonQ is in the house. Savanity, thank you for joining us. We have Kurt24, thank you for joining us. Jason Davis, thank you for coming in. Night Custom Bills, thank you. Tech Money's in the house, always represented, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Let's see.
So Jason Davis was Kermit when we did HCM.
Oh, I knew,
when we did the giveaways.
I knew that name looked familiar. I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, he was Kermit.
We have Polished Man. Oh, we need him back. Christian, thank you for coming in. Fellow BOP member.
Yeah, it's good to see him.
Matthew Gonzalez. Thanks, Bucks.
Yeah, he's got a question for you when you get done with that.
Oh, sure thing. But we got Shogun Custom in the house.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you for supporting us, coming in early. And you guys saw the headline. We have a special guest, the one and only CarbonQ.
Everybody, how you doing? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Carbon.
Good to see you. How are you?
Wave Slave, I see you, man.
How are you? How's everything?
Good.
Thanks for being on the live with us. We appreciate having you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've been discussing it for a while. I was like, we got to have Carbon. She's always supporting us both. So
thank you. Hi, everybody.
I'm so happy to have you on.
I love it. I love it. I love the team.
We have. Hi, everybody. Oh, wait. We got the ghost of P80.
Yeah, that's Ralph.
P80 Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ralph. How you doing, Ralph? Hi, Tech. What's going on? Hi, Polish man. Hi, Ghost of P80. Oh, that's him. He changed his name. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to change it because, his account's got nuked. So he's on like a third account or something, 18th account. I don't know how many accounts he's on, but
Ralph, what are you doing? What's going
I'm
on?
telling you, these algorithms on YouTube they're nuts.
Hey, Aegis.
Hi.
Or Aegis, sorry, my bad.
Aegis.
Aegis gun carriers in the house, and I mess it up, of course.
Hi,
Oh
Erica.
wow, we are
Christian.
getting the people in. Thank you for joining
that's
us,
good.
everybody.
Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Happy Friday. How are you?
Yes, happy Friday, everyone.
That's right.
Should we wait a little bit more to let everybody
Yeah,
get in?
give everybody a couple more minutes.
Okay.
That way we can make sure that everybody gets shouted out, like Deuce Deuce.
Let's
Uh,
do.
Jetta Man Designs popped in.
Oh, hello,
Hi, Jen.
hello, gentleman, Deuce.
Thanks, Bucks. I like that name.
Yeah, he came from TLD. We got a couple of TLD guys in here, so.
Gotcha. Take Money, how are you? Good to see you. 84 Sons of Liberty, how are you? Good to see you too.
Oh man, everybody's starting to come in. Thank you guys.
Hey, Marconi, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you like the patches.
Hi, Marconi.
Oh yeah, talking about the patches. You got the angry patch right there, the Angry Sarge patch.
I had to,
Oh,
since
nice.
embroidered, I had to, rock the new Mama Sarge patch that she made for me.
So as you guys that are watching us right now can probably realize, if you notice, all three of us are wearing plate carriers tonight. All thanks to Angry Sarge influencing us.
Yes.
I'm the worst influence out here. Come on.
I hope everybody has one too.
Yes. You don't think you need one of these until you exactly. I mean, you never know what you need until you need it.
Well, stuff hits the fan. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we could start it. I think we got quite a few people in. If you come in, like Hutch, appreciate you coming in.
Hutch, thank you.
We'll acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Try to.
He's an awesome prepper too. He has a homestead and he does a lot of he has a lot of good stuff on his stuff. If you guys haven't checked him out.
Okay.
He was on a live with you a while back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's where I remember the name from. Yeah, he was. I gotta look more into him. He had a lot of knowledge, sharing a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, he has a group of guys that he's with, and they're awesome. Definitely gotta check them out. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get some more different people with different mindsets on here.
Absolutely.
That way we can kind of learn stuff. That's why I like having you. We're going to learn something that I'm not informed of. So, Ice Cream Dipper, I see you, man. Appreciate you coming.
Ice Cream Dipper. So I guess let's get started with the questions. Who is CarbonQ?
I'm just Carbon. Retired mom, but just a average person, living life, just trying to enjoy it, survive all the craziness that we're going through. Very laid back person. I don't know, super shy, but at the end of the day, unless you get me upset. But other than that, I'm just an easygoing person. I love to support people. I love meeting people, which is weird because I'm an introvert, but I do like meeting people because I just love learning about them and just what makes them tick. And it just helps me become a better person, understanding other people. I like to support people doing good things because I think we focus a lot on the negative things that goes on in the world, and we don't give enough light or energy to the people that do good things, and that's sad. But yeah, that's basically.
No, but it's true. Like, and the one thing that makes it hard is, like, I want to share your stuff so much, but you're so busy, like, being this awesome person that's sharing everybody else's stuff. So it's like, come on, Carbon, you got to share something of yours so I can share it because I want to support you too. So
I know I have to work on that. I think I'm such a private person, security minded. I struggle a lot with showing things because there's a lot of crazy people out here, and sometimes your best offense is to not put everything out there, especially on social media. You see so many people put things that, like, to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't put that on there. And they get caught up in a situation because everything is on display. And I think that's just something I have to work out with in myself, and being around other people. I see how to do it. So, um, first of the year, I'll be coming through with some other stuff. I'm just one of those people that works better behind the scenes than in front of the camera, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
No,
I
that's
get it.
nothing wrong with that either. I mean, I kind
Mhm.
of shy away from a lot of things. I mean, go figure.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's just for protection. I get it. I understand that piece.
Definitely. Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. I in a way that kind of like your personality, what you're telling me right now, it kind of reminds me of Sarge a little bit too. Before like he started really posting his own content on Instagram, it's like Sarge was always reposting everybody else's stuff
Yeah.
and helping the community out.
Hmm.
But I get it. Like
Yeah.
I've always been introverted too.
Uh,
So I completely understand trying to break out of that shell,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
something like this was so like out of my scene, like out
Absolutely.
of my comfort zone. I had to break out of that, and
Hmm.
I feel like now, like even I get nervous, but it comes more naturally now.
Yeah. I think the more you do it, you get a little bit more comfortable with it. I still
Mm,
struggle with it. Every time I see that green light, it's everything goes out of my head. I don't know
yeah,
why, but it does. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to, get better at it, but it'll come
yeah,
along.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree it too.
So yeah, where's
See,
that? Come
what's
on,
the word?
Jason. Come on. No, no Kermit right now. Okay. I know you're excited, but no Kermit.
So,
So he would,
Carbon, you
if yeah, if you didn't hear, he was the one that did our Kermit the Frog during our giveaways and stuff for ATM. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yes, it was. That is funny.
yeah.
So do you guys prep?
I don't.
I
No?
I would say like
No.
I don't I am and I don't at the same time. Like in a
Okay.
way, uh, I keep certain things in my vehicle
Mm-hmm.
in case of emergency. Like things that I think that I'll need on the road, I'll keep in the car.
Okay.
Emergency kits,
Well,
get home bag, tools. Just to because I live on the road throughout the day, and of course I'm in my car and at home. So at home, I keep all the things that I feel necessary. I try to keep uh, canned foods, dry goods,
Good.
water,
Good.
the
Okay.
necessities,
Mm-hmm.
flashlights, all that. Of course, the pews.
Right.
uh, yeah, I mean that's where my prepping goes into is like
Yeah.
firearms and,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Making sure I have ammo and everything that if I have to, if it's bad and I have to go, I'm okay with some rounds. We can figure out the rest as we move.
As you,
Mhm.
so what if it's a situation? So, okay, when you get into prepping, a lot of people look at preppers as conspiracy theorists. They're crazy. They're hoarders. But when you really break it down, you have car insurance for your car in case you get into an accident, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You do a lot of things in your daily life to prevent an incident, right? Before the kids walk out, you make sure they have their coats, their hats, everybody's good to go, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with
Mhm.
prepping. It's not crazy if you buy a few extra cans of food, some water, and put it in your house. Beans, rice, you store it. Look at the pandemic when they locked people
Hmm.
down. Certain places were locked down. People were scrambling. We were fighting over toilet paper.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And that's where my prepping journey started because I looked around and I was like, wow, we don't have enough food in the house. So you had to go to the stores. And then when you went to the stores, it was a madhouse just for simple stuff like toilet paper.
Yeah.
So when you
But
prep, it's only, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was actually my next question for you. So you actually are answering before the question. But yeah, the pandemic, it was a
Yeah.
crazy time.
Yeah.
I I thought I was somewhat ready until it actually happened. And I'm like, now I was
Mm.
kind of like panicking and I was like, do
Yeah.
I really have enough? I think I need to buy some more stuff. But
Yeah.
so that's where
I
your
mean,
prepping journey started?
Yeah, it did actually. I actually came to PA from New York, and I was with my parents. So I was at their house, and then they locked it down. So we had a curfew, and that little time that we had to run out and do whatever we had to do, which was just the basics: the grocery store, your doctor, if you had to go there, and back to your house. So by the time I got to the grocery store, like I'm looking at their pantry, and I'm like, we don't have enough food for all of this. I went to the grocery store and I'm like, that is it. That is it. I just went crazy. I was buying everything, putting away. I even got a small generator before I knew what that was. I was just like, because the lights went out in PA, and I was like, we need this. Then I'm looking at they're older. I'm the only one with firearms, right? So I'm
Hmm.
like, even if they come inside here, I can't cover this window or that window. And then my mom's husband, which was crazy. He was a police officer and he was against guns. He did not want any guns in the house. So I snuck it in the house, right? And like, that's impossible. Like, you're older. If somebody even came into this house, like, you're not gonna be able to help me defend anything in here. The two of you just go to the bedroom and go in the closet. So a lot of stuff I had to take on right away and like secure their home. And they lived on the first floor, big windows. So as I'm walking through, I'm like, you just kick this in and everybody's in the house. You kick this and everybody's inside the house. So for me, it just started at that point. And that security that I didn't have got me into looking to see how I can fix that. And I went on YouTube and I found a lot of prepping communities. And I wouldn't say anything. I would just sit there and just watch them
Hmm.
and just learn. And from there, I just started buying things and just putting it away and putting it away. And even after the pandemic so-called lifted, they're like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "What if this happens again? We need to
Yeah.
be for it."
I
So
feel like as a society, like people were very quick to forget what happened just 2 years ago, going on 2 years now.
yeah.
And
No,
that,
it's just amazing. Like people's short term memories are. It's like, how do we forget stuff like 9/11? How do we forget the stuff that happened on that? But real quick, I'm going to address Arcane. Hey, Arcane Tactical, man, I appreciate it. He was talking about the mask, but glad to see you here.
yeah, guys, if I miss your comments, I'm sorry. It's hard to go between,
Yeah,
actually having a conversation with our guest and keeping up with the comments. But
it gets a little insane. So
I'm gonna keep up. I'm gonna try to keep up with the comments. Our guy on the back end, Caleb, he's gonna look through it, and if you have any questions, I will answer it for you. Um, but yeah, like people were so quick to forget. I feel like people now have like a 5 minute memory span when it comes to certain things.
yeah, I mean, it's just amazing what all people will forget that happened. It
Hmm.
doesn't make any sense. It's like we just let things just exist because we can.
mhm.
Um,
But
let's
you have
see.
your. Mhm. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I think people think like the government is going to take care of them and they're really not. You have to be your first responder for a lot of things,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
will be your security, your medical, just surviving. Just look at it as 3 days. Start with having enough food and water. I'm sorry. Let me
No,
just get
you're
this.
good.
No, no. I love dogs, by the way. Like nothing like
Great.
a
Our
man's best
guys,
friend.
yeah, our guys are coming through. Freakistang. Hey,
Yeah.
Dion's, Zachary Fett. Thanks for coming from TLD. Appreciate you over here. Croak.
Thanks so much for coming through.
Always good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for showing up.
So on that, the 3 day, starting with the 3 day, that's kind of what my mindset is just a little bit like we're not doing like deep. We're
Right.
just getting enough to if we have to move off the X, because
Right.
my thought is if it's that bad, I'm probably gonna have to move from where I'm at right now to
Right.
something else, to another support element or whatever. Just thinking from a military mindset and perspective, like my skills are firearms and security and stuff like that,
Right.
versus a friend that may have this skill over here, so I'm going to push over to that, and then we're going to push over to something else, so we can get our community together. So that's kind of my mindset.
Absolutely. With prepping, you definitely need to have a plan first. Have a secondary location, a MAG, which is a mutual assistance group of people that you trust, that you can and are also like-minded with you, because if you do have to move, you might have to leave all your stuff and head over to somebody else. You have a MAG, you can send stuff over there ahead of time, so if you do have to move, just whatever you have on you, your bag, cars, kids, wife, whatever, you could just move and there's already stuff in place. So you want to have a plan. You want to have a group of people that you're going to do it with. Some people will do it lone wolf, but eventually that's going to be a problem, because you can't stay up 24 hours to do security, to, maintain what you have to do every day, whether it's cut wood, walk the dog, I don't know, whatever you're going to do at that point. But you're going to need a group of people to get through it.
Yep, I agree.
All
Can
right.
you see that question
Yeah, Carbon.
from Shogun?
What's
Which
your choice of rehydrated food that's nutrient dense, something that will sustain you longer?
Whatever I have available. When it hits the fan, I don't care what it tastes like, as long as I can eat it, and it'll give me enough energy to get to where I have to go. Survival is not about comfort, it's about surviving. So whatever you can afford, whatever your budget allows you to get, or if you're going to getting to canning, you already know what you have there. Canning, of course, it goes in glass jars. It's hard to move with those things because they become heavy. So you can get the survival food. They're all different prices. A lot of them are very expensive now. However, get what you can get. I mean, if you can afford the good stuff, there's plenty out there that they say tastes good, and that's their personal choice. I have not sat down and gone through different ones to say, oh, I like this one or that one.
Right.
I just know that I have some inside the house. And when that time comes and my ribs are touching, I don't care what's inside that bag. I just want to eat, and I want to make sure that I have some water. At the end of the day, it's going to be rough. We live in a time where everything is at the sound of our voice, at the touch of our finger. We're gonna have to go back to ways where we're gonna do manual labor.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a lot of things that we're not used to doing. So the more skill sets you get, as far as medical, cutting wood, learning how to build a fire, not leave a trace whilst you're out in the woods, move quietly. You can have all the firearms, but if you have no food, you're going to be dead, because you can't sustain yourself. You have no water, you're going to be dead. So you can have all the firearms, all the ammo you want to, but you still need other things to survive. If you don't have those things, you're either going to go out and try to take it from other people, but now you're going to be going up against a lot of people who aren't prepping, and that's going to be a problem too. Versus getting prepared now, so when the chaos happens, the only thing you really have to worry about is securing your house or your location, or getting to your destination and securing that, because you already have everything in place. So
that makes sense. I mean, it's good to have that kind of that insight, because like I said, I don't know anything except, trying to survive in a war zone versus, here. It's completely different. I do know that water is crucial no matter what. So we always have plenty of water. That's something we won't ever do without. But as far as food, if I got to catch it, I can catch it. But how long is that going to be sustainable, depending on what kind of environment and how many people's impacting it and all that stuff. So you're right.
Right. So look at Florida, because you say fishing, right? Look what happened to them. And there's a lot of people displaced right now. But not only that, now you have alligators and snakes in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That option for fishing goes out the door. So you really have to think, first of all, your location, where you're at, like what is going on. You have to pay attention to the weather. You have to do
Mm-hmm.
a lot more than just sit back and say, "Oh, it's nothing." These people were warned to leave, and they didn't.
Right.
And now look what's. I think that was the second. Um, what is it? The second worst storm that we had. The first one was Katrina. Katrina. The people are still trying to come back from Katrina at this point, and then
Interesting.
you have to wait for the rescue people to get there.
Yeah. I mean, so I was in Hurricane Harvey and Katrina. I
See?
served in both of those. So um, having to be out there from a military um, setup, it's completely different when you're helping here in the country versus being overseas because you wouldn't think it, but I mean, we were taking fire at some points. I mean, we had a pipe bomb thrown on our patrol
Oh,
when we were out doing
that's
uh, checking for people and trying to clear out
mhm.
areas and stuff like that. So, I mean, you wouldn't think that would happen, but once a disaster hits, it's like all bets are off. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Scared people are dangerous people.
yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Desperate people are also dangerous people.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
You
When you
Um,
don't know where your next meal is coming or where you're going to lay your head, and then the crime ensues. There's rapes, there's stealing, there's killing, there's a lot of things that go on that they don't really show you, but it does happen. Like you go into the history of all these events that happen, and you really do your due diligence, you'll see
Mhm.
what goes on, and you don't want to be in that. You really don't.
Yeah. Who we got?
yeah.
Quarantine Catholic. Thanks for coming. Weapon XYZ. It's good to see you.
Weapons.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, not at all.
You
It's
got a
important.
question?
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because you're actually answering my
Yeah,
question
I mean,
before I
she
even.
is. She's killing it.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, you're natural at talking about the prepping, like, and
Yeah.
you're really teaching. You're bringing up a lot of good points about
Thank you.
things.
Thank you. Thank
Like
you.
like this one. If you could share one thing about prepping, what would it be?
Um,
You
when prepping will give you a sense of security. It will give you a little bit of peace when it's chaos out there. Um, it gives you a way to make a plan when nobody else has anything and they don't know what to do. You will know what to do because you have resources to pull from in your house. It gives you a leg up because now you have things to barter with. You become a an asset versus a liability. So prepping is something that every family should do because it's not about just like hurricanes or tornadoes. It could be a power outage. It could be the bridge went out and now you guys can't get anywhere. It can be you can lose your job and you don't have any money saved, or family members lost their house. Now they're in your home.
Right.
These extra bodies to feed. Prepping can do a lot in your life if you take the time and do it now versus waiting for the government to hand you anything.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like when we had that winter storm that
Yeah.
knocked out everything in North Texas or most of Texas. I mean, thankfully we had a hospital that was close, and my spouse worked there, so we could go there and kind of warm up and charge
Mhm.
up stuff or whatever. But we weren't ready at all. I mean, we had food and all that stuff, so we were able to eat. But how do you cook it with no power? And we didn't have gas because we were in an apartment. Whereas
Right.
now we have gas in our
Mhm.
home. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
that was definitely a lesson learned. I'll say that.
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
What is my method for sterilizing water? Okay, so I don't have anything that's UV, but I do have the iodine. I do have a filter, water straws. I do have a Berkey, And what I'm trying to get done is some bushcrafting skills under my belt, where you can do it naturally from rocks, sand, um, what is it, the moss, and filter out that funky water in that creek. But yeah, I also have a filter for radiation. It filters out. It's a water cup that filters out radiation.
Wow.
Should we have one of those bombs go off? I don't want to say it, so it
Yes.
Yeah.
messes up the channel,
Tracking.
right?
I, I'm
Yeah,
interested in that. I didn't even know there was a type of filter for that. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
absolutely. Um,
Uh, what's your top five must-haves for prepping?
there's a basic five, which is you need shelter, you need water, you need your medical, which is your medication. Especially if you take medication, you may want to stock up on that particular medication. You may have to come out of pocket, but you should have it. Antibiotics. If you're diabetic, if you have a high blood pressure, anything that you have to take on a daily basis, you want to have a supply of that on hand in case you can't get to the doctors. Look at the pandemic when you couldn't even go to the doctors if it wasn't, you know, I'm gonna
Yeah,
call it.
dire emergency.
Absolutely. So it's and you want to have your defense, which is whatever choice of defense you choose to do. I'm all for the guns. I absolutely support 2A. If it's not for you, because I've come across people that are afraid of guns, so there's other methods that you can use to defend yourself. You need to get trained in that, learn how to do it, learn how to make whatever it is with the other elements that's out there and do it. I just don't want to get you a strike on your channel, so I don't want to say certain words.
I got you.
Uh,
But yeah, there's other methods, and there's knives. You need to get some training with that. There's that saying, "Don't bring a knife to a gunfight." Figure out where it is that you feel comfortable. If you're afraid of guns, take a class. Get somebody to get you comfortable with it. Start with something very small, a small caliber, and work your way up. But give yourself that option, because when it does hit the fans, as you've seen about 2 or 3 couple summers ago, like they're armed, so you might want to get armed legally, get the training.
No, you made a good point because I'm super big into training and uh,
Mhm.
I'm eventually I'll get into that arena and start training people. But that's important. Like just the basics and understanding it um, is really important, especially in any kind of situation that could go bad. It doesn't matter if you don't like it, but if you got the training and it does go bad, you can protect your family, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter about how you feel at the end of the day. It's about
Mhm.
survival, like you said. I mean, even in combat, we
Mhm.
did some things that maybe we weren't proud of, but it was all about surviving at that point. It's either
Mhm.
me or him,
you know,
and it ain't gonna be me.
Exactly.
So
Even the ladies, be an asset. Learn that firearm, learn how to load it, and pass it to them. If you're living in a house, there's an upstairs, a downstairs. You need coverage on both floors.
yep,
Be
yeah,
be ready to get in that fight and do what you have to do. If you can't take iodine, deuce, there's a way you can do it with bleach, but look that up and learn how to average it out. Depending on how much water you have, you should have like a gallon of water per person in your home per day. Half of that should be for drinking, the other half should be for cleaning and cooking. So there's a lot of things. There's the threes. It's 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 days with, I'm sorry, 3 weeks without food. And then there's 3 months before your mental health starts to go a little crazy if you have no companionship, right? You'll start talking to Wilson the ball, right? Or
right.
yeah, you wanna, get into these prepper communities. They have great discussions. They if you know nothing about prepping, they are very open minded. They will jump in there and tell you what you need to know. They'll walk you through it, but you have to make yourself available to learn these things.
yeah.
And there's a lot of amazing guys. ex-military, so many different backgrounds, to housewives that are showing you how to can.
Home remedies and canning.
Absolutely, yes. How to manage a house full of kids, because that is going to be another thing. When you have a community, it's not just about the soldiers or the guys with the guns. It's about the nurses, the doctors, the people that can work with herbs and off the land. It's about the electrician that can, wire something together, depending where you're at. It's about the guy that can work with that lumber, cut it down, saw it, and build a home or a hut or whatever. So it takes a community of people getting where you fit in and become an asset. If you do come across a mag or a group of people, you have something to offer when you get there. So,
Right.
there's a lot of things to do. You just got to make it available.
Well, you bring up a lot of good points. I mean, that's where the community comes in, and that's kind of my mindset, is knowing who I'm around or who I talk to that has a certain skill set that I can bring into the fold, because I
Yeah.
have skill sets that I can bring, and if they do too, and we all start coming together and make a community, we can
Right.
protect each other. So
Yeah. And even if, like, I learned this from Hutch and his friends, his community that he has over there is PTLB tribe. The rest of them, they did a War Room Wednesday where they put you in scenarios and you have to figure your way out of it, or what would you do, which I thought is so great, because a lot of my decisions weren't great. Like, the average person would be like, "You're crazy," like, "We're not shooting the kids." Yes, we are, because when you look at wartime, kids are used as bait. And if you're trying to get me out of my house, if you're using this kids, because people do very evil things,
mhm.
in order for me to protect my children, everybody becomes a threat.
Yeah.
And you have to have that mindset. You have to understand it's going to be very ugly and you're going to have to react to it. Now, you're saying that I don't like hunting. I don't like hunting animals. It's something I just do not want to do.
Me either. Don't feel bad.
Yeah,
I'm,
but when it comes to anything else, I'm ready for it.
I'm okay with hunting. I just been
Yeah.
out of the game for years, but
See, mine's
worst
a
case scenario, I would definitely.
yeah, mine's a need. If there's a need, I'm gonna do it
Mhm.
regardless. You know,
Yeah.
but that's not my first thing that I want to do.
Hey,
So
Yeah.
Jason. Hmm.
So Tech asks Carbon, what's a good budget solar generator? Because I'm
Um,
not cheap.
mhm,
I'm not
right.
cheap. I'm just broke.
Well, okay. Well, I like to say that harping is personal, so your household might be different from mine. I might be more of a minimalist type of person, where as long as my phone works, as long as I can get my radios working, I'm good.
Mhm.
Some people, they have to feed kids in a larger family, so you may want to get a generator that's going to run your fridge, your stove, depending on that's if that's what you want to do. If your house has is security wise, the things that you may plug in, you can go through, you can look at it and just ask questions about it. There's a couple channels. I'll give you the name of it, where you can look and see which generator works for you and best for your household. Some people could just live off just that little battery pack. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
I
Um,
can't.
yeah, you're going to need a lot more stuff, and especially if you have stuff that needs to be charged up, especially with your firearms. Some of that stuff is digital, and you need to get that going. You might need something bigger.
Mhm.
I'm looking at one, and it's about 1,500, but I'm still on the fence on buying it because it's heavy. If I have to get out of here, I'm not lugging that thing down. I'd rather buy two smaller ones, maybe 500 and up, and just take that with me and make it work. Again, survival is just surviving. It's not about the comfort. As long as you can get the basics in, figure out the rest.
I think it's more of a mindset
Yeah.
than or anything else, because if you don't have a strong mindset, you could
Yeah.
have all the gear you can have, but once you
Mm.
break down mentally, then all
Yeah.
that gear is just
Yeah,
worthless at that point.
Hmm.
I agree with
But
that.
Here's a good one.
That's it. What
What
motivates?
motivates you to make content, and what advice would you give fellow content creators?
Um, because I just want to see people survive. I want to see people make it. I think when you look around and see what's going on, from our food to our crops to our animals to these food preparation places being burnt down. I do believe it was like 26 factories burnt down in
I
20.
heard about that.
Like they're messing with your food. They're messing with your however you feel about these. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
However you feel about them, they're messing with you. Look at our school system. Is crazy. I think if we don't start waking up and realizing that we need to start thinking for ourselves and stop allowing a particular group of people to just tell us how to live according to them, like we're going to be up shit's creek in a couple, at this point, months or a year or so. There's a
Right.
lot going on, and we really need to like we have to get out that bubble that this is the USA, nothing's going to happen to us. It's happening right in front of us, and we're still not paying attention. you
Yeah.
know I think as a content creator, if you're skilled at something and you can teach somebody something, get on there and just do it. It is entirely up to you what you want to share with the world. If that's your mindset, if that's what you want to do, help people become better, or teach them whatever it is that hit that button and say what you have to say. People will come. You
Yeah.
know, go into these chats, get to know people, let them see you. Um, Listen to what they say if it's along what you want to do. You find your people and you support each other. That is a big thing. You have to support people because you're if we don't support each other, like all of this is going to go to crap because nobody's your government is telling you to prepare, right?
Mm.
They're sending out little PSAs to, hey, you guys need to have this little bug out bag here, but they don't tell you what to do with the bug out bag. The stuff inside there is trash.
Yeah.
Like you need to really take your time and do your due diligence. The way you're going to do that is by going into these chats with these people that's been doing it for a long time. Preppers have been along for a long time. I never knew about them until I actually decided to go inside and search for them. And I love it that there are more people getting into it
Right.
because now when stuff hits the fan, it's good to know that there's other people out there like you. It's not just you and
Right.
you're like that. Yeah.
And then,
Gets us in. Go ahead,
yeah.
sorry. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, to caveat off what you were saying, um, get out there and teach people. Like the biggest thing is that knowledge transfer, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm learning how to, I guess, get out there and put my stuff out there with
Mm-hmm.
all these little reels and everything that I'm doing. But eventually it's going to get to the point where, I'm going to start dropping tips and things that people can understand, especially about picking gear,
Mm-hmm.
firearms, how you set up everything. Because to me, everything has to have a purpose. You
Right.
can always have your fun stuff, right? That's my thing. Have your fun stuff, but if you're going to have a rifle set up for a certain reason, then it needs to be set up that way. If it's
Right.
an SPR or a pistol is set up, for, oh, that's my bedside gun. Well, what do you think you need on your bedside gun? A light, an optic never hurts. That's always a good thing. But things like that, trying to get that purpose out there. But
Right.
the whole knowledge transfer, and I think that's what you're doing with us tonight. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging it. I like it. So
Thank you.
you might find me on the prepper stuff.
Please come on over. We would love to have more people on board. Absolutely. And a lot of preppers want to share their information with people because we need to know what it is. As long as you're not, out there doing crazy stuff. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
um, Open, like, broaden your horizons, firearms, gardening, prepping, engineering, plumbing, all of that falls under the survival blanket. Medical. if you have skills in those things, come on over there because you never know who's right next door to you and you didn't know until you got in there
Yeah.
and you
Right.
become an asset. You learn new things and then you go teach somebody else and it starts to spread. When they do lock us down, a lot of us will fare better than if we just don't know or, nobody told
Mhm.
us. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of good people out there, like
Uh,
you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
just off the top of your mind head, who are a couple of your favorite influencers?
So
Or
I don't have a favorite influencer because all the people that I come across have all taught me something different and valuable in a way that I can't pinpoint one person to say this is my favorite influencer. When you go to different chats, they everybody has their own personality. Somebody might be into the political thing, somebody might be into the bushcrafting thing, somebody might be into the canning, preserving, they all have their little niche. So I can't say like I just like the canning part of it. I learned from a lot of it. There's the firearm, like the military guys, and they're very tactical. And then there's the homesteaders. I don't have a homestead, but what if I went to a mag that had one? Like I watch them and I see the stuff that they have to do. So it's like, okay, it broadens my horizon. It's so many people out there that you'll find it hard once you start going inside there and you develop relationships with people. You may have your favorite person, how they, do something, but as far as influencer, there's so many people I can't really pinpoint
Yeah.
one.
No, I mean, like me, I'm obviously the firearms community is my thing, and there's several. So it's like, how can I tie down? Like, I like Travis Haley, I like Two
Right.
Lamb from Running Tactics. John Lavelle's a great guy. There's like so many people that I would just love to sit and just have a conversation with, but
Right.
you know, it's
Abs-
hard to just nail down just one.
Absolutely, I
uh,
agree.
the quarantine Catholics asking, I want a
Carbon
carbon Q patch. Are they available?
coming soon. I never coming soon. I'll definitely make sure. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a huge supporter of me, so
Yeah.
I figured she'd like you too. So I'm glad I told her about the stream and she
Mhm.
could come see you.
Thank you for coming through. Absolutely. Yes. Yay. More females. Absolutely. Love it. Yep. Yep.
Um, um,
I think Shogun had a couple.
Erica, you're my favorite influencer.
There
Absolutely.
you go. There you go.
Hi, Jenna, Jason, Jova. How you doing? Thank you for coming through.
uh, kind of off the same subject from earlier. If you could train with anyone, who would it be? And I'm gonna ask, why would it be?
If I could train with someone, so it would be quite a few people, for all different reasons. Like firearms, I don't have. That's a good question. I do have somebody that I would train with, but they're kind of private, so I won't say the name.
Mhm.
Tactical wise, I
It's
want to get
hard.
trained in a lot of things. Yeah, that's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I can't pinpoint people. It's a lot of
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do
No,
it.
that's
I'm
fine.
the same way. I'd be like, what?
yeah,
Well, I mean, I could narrow it down. I mean, obviously, because I look at mindsets as well,
yeah,
and who I've done training with. So it it could change, but who knows?
yeah.
I, I
I
will
think.
say,
Mhm. No,
sorry,
I'm sorry.
Carmen, go ahead. I would say that the best training to get first is something
Mhm.
that you're like weakest in, like a subject that you're weakest in. Get the training in that, right?
Right. So, bushcrafting and hunting would be my weakest traits. Um, I do have a place that I want to go to for that type of training. Um, so I'm gonna say this: I like military men that's been in battle because I think their mindset, they're gonna tell me what it is, like they're not going to be soft about it. It's probably be difficult for them. Some people, depending on where they're at in their head. because they know what it takes. They know the ugly side to it, right? And I want all of that in the training. I don't want you to just, oh, just pull this trigger and you just stand over here and this is what you're gonna do. I want you to tell me like, yeah, prepare to prepare that you're gonna see a body splatter, the head's gonna blow off. This is how you might react to it. You're gonna have issues with that after the fact or whatever the case may be, because that's what's probably going to happen. And not that I haven't been involved with things where it's ugly. It's just that I just think I like I like procedures. I like discipline type of training. I don't even know how to explain it. I just think the way they move, because I've worked with so many of them, it's what would fit me better. If that
That makes
makes
sense. Like I don't like fragile stuff either. If I mess up, I mean, I'm over there doing push-ups because I messed up. I'll do that on the range. It's kind of just a force of habit because most people that I've trained with, that's kind of like your punishment. You mess up, you don't focus. Like out there in real life, you miss that shot and somebody gets killed that shouldn't have. So it makes sense.
Yeah, they're gonna make it so that you don't forget or you don't make that mistake again. And that's the part of it that I want. I don't want to make that mistake when stuff hits the fan. You need to be on point, and this is what it is.
Agreed.
Yep.
Erica asked, how heavy should a bug out bag be?
Um, it goes by your body weight, which you can carry. You got to lug that thing however many miles you're going to be trucking through or going through. To me, the more skill sets you have, the lighter your bag should be, because you'll be able to work with whatever you're coming across. Um, if you have a lot of stuff, you got to carry that stuff. You got to hide that stuff. You might have to get through a little hole in the fence or dive underneath the car for cover, and you can't because this bag is on your back.
Right.
So, don't pack everything like you're going on vacation. Pack your basics, your fire, your water, your shelter, some food bars if you have that, those calorie bars, and get you to where you got to go, and then figure it out from there. As long as you can stay warm and dry, and filter out some water, get some heat going, keep it, and make, of course, your defense mechanism, whatever it is that you're going to use, go for it. Have a few items in there that you may have to barter with,
Right.
and things like that. Yeah, I don't suggest you carry like a 30-pound bag, but for some people, they have kids. They may have a disabled person with them, and you have to pack for those people. I would tell you to bug in first before you bug out. Only bug out unless you absolutely have to.
See, that's my thoughts exactly. Is like,
Yeah.
why do I want to bug out? If I've got shelter and everything's working out here, I'm going to bug in
Right?
because I know my AO and I can set up my defenses according to what I've got. Versus, oh well, I left my house. Now I got to go somewhere else and try to figure something else out. So
I
Exactly.
feel like that's a big misconception when people think about prepping is they automatically think about bugging out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that is pretty much your area is under attack, it's hostile situation, and you have no choice but to leave.
Right.
So
Mhm. Yeah.
talking about prepping, do you know anything about ham radios?
I'm taking the classes now. I have 3 of them back there. I have a Bowfang. I have another one. I forgot the name of it. 2 Bowfangs and another one.
I tell you who you need to hook up with is Quarantine Catholic. You really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's all about the radio. Like she's
You have to come on my show, please. Thank you.
And I need to watch
she's
that
good.
show because I have a Baofeng. I bought it like a couple years ago. I still don't know how to use that thing or program
Don't feel bad.
it.
Struggle.
Mhm.
It's a struggle. But even having that up and running before stuff hits the fan,
Yeah.
and do your daily radio check-ins, however you choose to do it, because there's options that you can do that, and just just to be ready. The last thing you want to do is wait till stuff hits the fan and then you're trying to scramble to get that together. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to have her on and have her walk us through that. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll shoot you her YouTube because she's actually putting stuff on there. She was showing me where she was like hearing from like Boston and everywhere else, and then they were picking up overseas and other
Oh,
places. So it was pretty crazy. So
that's awesome. That's intel. It's a beautiful thing. I believe the more you know, the better you can move. So
Communication is very important because when the cell towers go out,
mm-hmm.
you know, you
Yeah,
gotta know what's going on.
you.
yeah,
Absolutely. Even two-way radios in case your neighborhood,
yeah,
they don't have any radios, but now you got to secure the neighborhood, have a few of those so you can pass them out to the people that you figure are going to do what they got to do, and you can communicate that way.
yeah,
Having a drone is a absolute. You can't leave your house for whatever reason. You can send that out and let it scout ahead of time to see if your path is clear or if it's craziness going on.
Yep.
Just more intel again, and you don't have to leave the confines of your home.
right.
So
Makes sense.
Vanity says, look up T Rex Arms. He has good info on how to learn navigation and comms.
that's another thing. Yes.
So
So
Trash Panda, did we have any other questions? I want to make sure because we're getting close to our time. Make sure we
okay.
get those done.
Let's see.
Thank you. Hmm.
We didn't on our end. We went through
Okay.
all of our questions, and before we went through some of them, Carbon
Yes.
already answered a lot of it.
This
So,
stuff.
um,
So quarantine Catholics answering.
Mhm.
Did you see that?
Oh, that's
quarantine.
awesome. Yes. Practicing is a big part of it too. You want to be able to have that down to a science. Leaving your house, getting in the car, where do the kids go, just having your bug out material bags, whatever the case may be, in an area that you can grab it on the way out the door, everything pre-packed, your paperwork, your documentation. You don't want to keep running back in and out the house. You want to get in your car and get out of there and keep it pushing. So practice is great, just like a fire drill. Have your kids, especially if you have kids, like get them involved into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Boy Scouts, I don't know if they still have that, Boys and Girl Scouts, where they would take
Yeah.
them and teach them all those things. That's basically what we're doing, kind of
Yeah,
going back.
they have a ranch out close to me. But yeah.
Um, mm-hmm.
Show
Nice.
Customs
Pull,
asks,
pull
do
up
you
Croaks.
store any seeds? And
Yes,
so, which plants?
I have seeds. I have vegetables, an array of different vegetables, organic. I have some medicinal seeds, not medicinal that way, but for different ones. I would like to get some of those because you're gonna need them. But yep, I have like a whole bunch of them. They're all on top there. Seeds are great for a lot of things: bartering, surviving,
Yeah.
planting. Take them where you gotta go. Yeah, it's a food source. Get it whilst you can.
Oh yeah, because even during COVID, I noticed so many people got into
Go.
planting their own food because you couldn't. It was hard to find fresh produce in the grocery stores,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like COVID did the nation somewhat of a favor by showing us that hey, we need to be more self sufficient on certain things. And we can't always just run to the grocery store when we
Right.
need to and get what we want. But it was definitely an eye opener for our nation, especially in this day of age where I remember my grandparents, well, when they were still around, their basement, they would have a room full of just
Mm-hmm.
extra food and extra water, extra supplies, all that. I didn't really think of any of it as a child, but
Yeah.
looking back now, I'm like, they came from a different era where
Yep.
they didn't have everything available to them like we do today. So they had to plan accordingly. Like, hey, if something happens, like at
Yeah.
least we got somewhat stock of what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Croak said.
yeah, he brought up a good point.
Mhm. Plastic page roll atlas. I do. I have one in my bag. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I have an atlas. I have the whole book. Um, it's pretty big, but I still got it because it has every state, all the things that you need to know inside there.
It's
Yeah.
hard to come by nowadays too. Like not every store has the atlases and just
Yeah.
the paper maps of the state and roadways. Like I've looked before and I couldn't find them, but it's very
Mapsco.
rarely
Mm-hmm.
where.
Amazon. I got mine on.
Mapsco. All you got to do is get on the website for Mapsco and get that. That's how, whenever I patrolled, that's what I had. I had that as a backup because, you know, what if I'm not in a good area and the GPS is down or my computer's not getting signal so I can pull up the address or anything that I need to go to. So Mapsco was like, before we even touched the computers and stuff,
Yeah.
that's what we had to get around on and show that we could navigate before you got to play with all the computer stuff.
Yep. All right. We got to go back to basics.
Yep.
If you can get one that's waterproof, that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A CB is absolutely great to have as well.
Yeah, CDs are something that not too many people really use nowadays.
Hmm. A lot of people have them though.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or
I,
not, that's gonna help.
True.
Hmm.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad always had a CB in his truck. It's like now you barely ever see them unless you have actual truckers on the road. Uh, Scanner apps are also something important to have. That's
Hmm.
easy access.
Yep.
Yep.
I have one on my phone just to have it.
Any particular app, Sarge, that
Oh
people
no,
can download?
mine's for local. It's DFW scanner. So
Okay.
it's just local.
Medical. Get some training with medical. If you don't know how to do CPR, if you don't know how to do first aid, a lot of those things you're going to have to do on your own. Learn how to suture a wound, learn how to clean it, use certain things in your household that you can use to disinfect a wound if you don't have any alcohol.
Right.
Those are preps that you need to have as well: alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, anything. That's one of the things that you have to worry about if stuff hits the fan. It's the smallest thing, like a cut or a wound that gets infected, that'll take you right on out. You don't have to worry about
That
anything
is
else.
true. That
Yeah.
is very, very true.
Mhm. Get your mask because again, mask was hard to find. Mask and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer was hard to find. If they did it before, there's nothing stopping them from unleashing something else. So you want to be prepared for that ahead of time. Um, there's so many things you can learn online. There's so many. If you have military personnel in your family, they know a lot of things that they can teach you straight out the gate. Talk to other people. Like you'll be surprised at the things that you'll learn how to do. You know, something as simple as a shamag is an amazing item to have in your bug out bag.
Mm-hmm.
There's things you can do with a shamag.
Yep.
I
You can
I
use it
always
for a cravat or whatever.
Yep.
Sling. There's so many things.
So many things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
one thing
just
I always carry on me is a tournament, a
absolutely.
quality tourniquet, because there's a lot of off-brand cheap tourniquets that
Yeah.
don't work. So make sure if you're gonna get into that,
Hmm.
you know, you definitely want to stop a bleed because
Absolutely. You want to take a stop to bleed class, especially if you have firearms. You should have an IFAC kit, know how to use it, have several of them. You know, one is none. I can never get this right. One is none and a whole bunch is perfect.
two is one, one
Right.
is none,
Yeah. Yep.
Never
four
get it
is two, four
right.
is two, and
Kinds of stuff. Get
there
those.
you go.
Yeah, it'll save a life. Cauterizing a wound if you don't have it, like you have the stomach to heat up a piece of iron and stop a bleed on somebody's leg. Look into videos on how to do that.
Look at Croak. Smart man.
All right.
Fish antibiotics. I've heard that like they're basically the same thing but different doses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doctor or
This one. Mm-hmm.
like pharmacist, but I have heard other people talk about fish antibiotics.
Yep. Um, do your due diligence on that because nobody's a medical um, on the panel unless I don't know about it. But I'm not medical, so if you're gonna do that, do
Neither
your
am I.
due diligence. Yes, then that is an option that a lot of people are using. There's also Jace Medical. You can go online. They'll give you a supply of antibiotics and a couple other items that you would need for a med kit. You fill out whatever it is. I think if you need a prescription for one that you take, you can check with them to see if they do it. They charge you and they send you a kit with it, and that will be your emergency stash if you choose to do
Okay.
that. So it's Jace Medical. Let me see. Need recommendations. I'll send it over easy to Panda and Angry Sarge. I don't have the link on me right now, but I'll send it
No,
to you.
you're good.
Yeah. And I see too just needs help to the carrier. Yep. So, should I know if you have any medical allergies? You should know all of that. Everybody in your house, you should know what's going on with them medically.
Hmm.
Not to deal with it if you can't get to the doctors.
One thing I need to still find out is what type of blood type I have, and I think that's something important that everybody should know. I'm sleeping on that because I really need to go to the doctor or whatever and figure that out in case of an emergency.
Yeah, we know in our family. Like I
Yeah.
know my son has the same blood type as me, and my daughter has the best blood type you can have.
Yep.
So
Is that
it
O
just
positive or O negative?
yeah, she's O. So
Mhm.
so she can give to all of us, but
Yeah.
it's good to know. Good thing to have.
Absolutely. Get to your doctor, do a full medical, and figure out where you have to learn health, your physical stamina. When stuff hits the fan, you're gonna need to be able to run, do a lot of things. So you may wanna get yourself together if you can cut out your vices, you know, try to work on that, try to get more healthier, more physically fit because but when you're fighting, like a minute is a long time, 30
Yes,
seconds is a long time, and
yes,
you're tired,
yeah.
so
Especially when you're
Everything
fighting
goes in
for your
slow.
life.
right.
The minute that your life's in jeopardy, that's probably the longest fight you'll ever be in.
Absolutely.
Caleb
Alcohol. I'm sorry, go ahead. Hmm.
Caleb says there's actual kits on Amazon that you can get to test your blood type. I'll have to look into that.
Okay. That is awesome. I didn't know that. So I'm gonna check that out too. Alcohol is great to have in your house. It's a disinfectant. You can use it for cough syrups. You can use it for just to bring people down, take the edge off, bartering, fire. There's a lot of things that you can use that for. If you have an alcohol problem, get some alcohol you don't like, but
Yeah.
get have some on deck if you need it. Yep. Um.
Just don't get the fruity stuff.
Right.
You don't want sugar in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I
So
hear
just
that if I'm not mistaken, rye alcohol is good apparently for like medical uses. Like,
yes, I believe so. Yep. Get rice, bags of rice. Get those. Go to Tractor Trailer. Get those food grade buckets. Get some Mylar bags. Rice you could put with anything. Beans.
Yep.
Some beans. Put it in another bucket. Just have some food. You just need food to survive.
Right.
It's not going to be what you're used to, but you'll be able to make it. Rice,
uh,
you can get that anywhere.
I've
Yeah.
always heard to get the little mini bottles of alcohol too to
Yep.
barter with, because in
Mm-hmm.
times of hardship, it
Yep.
goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry. Mhm. Yeah, little ones keep comfort foods for the little ones. The box cake, marshmallows. I don't know how long those last, but
Yeah.
because kids, you want games, things like that, board games or things like that. You want to keep them quiet, especially if you have to be in a situation where you have to be quiet.
Right.
There's so much to go into when stuff gets crazy and you need to go silent. You need to just be quiet. You want to make sure everybody's Okay. Learn how to heat your house if the grid goes down. Look at Texas, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Have some of these things in place. Have some blankets, extra wool blankets. Get
Yeah.
a tent. You can set up a tent in the smallest room. A candle will heat up a tent. The smaller you make it, the more people inside
So
there warm up.
that's what we did is we were using candles for heat. So
Right.
and it
You could
worked.
use a
Yeah. Hmm.
you could use clay pots too with a teacup candle or
Yeah.
whatever they're called.
Yep. You
Yeah,
can make
apparently that one.
your own candles with just vegetable oil, a mason jar. Get a wick, cut the top of the flat metal part, put the wick inside there. You have a candle, but it'll last a long time. You don't have to worry about changing it out.
Right. I watched her video on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I, I,
things.
I I saw that video too, and it's funny because I used to be more into the prepping mindset maybe 10 years ago, and then I kind of stopped because I felt like, all right, I'm going down a rabbit hole now, and I'm noticing that I'm exhausting a lot of my income
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
buying gear, things I think I need, and stuff like just trying to get a big inventory of things. So, ha- have you experienced like, okay, now I'm focused too much on prepping and I'm buying too much gear. I'm exhausting too
No.
much of the money that. No?
Okay. There was a time when I did feel like that, but as the world continued to turn, I realized I don't have enough because it's getting worse. Like
Yeah.
it's worse. All those things that people are telling you is happening is actually happening. Like Purpose have been saying this for a long time. When I go back and look at their videos, they've been saying it for years, and now it's
Mhm.
coming to fruition. And we're just, if you aren't prepping, you should start. Just start. Get some water cans, rice, beans. Get it in your house. Flashlights. Get it, put it in your house. It doesn't matter where you start. You can start just a little bit at a time, but it'll keep adding up. um I Again, my background, gas mask, defensive stuff, all those things, they cost a penny, a pretty penny,
Mhm.
because you're going to need it to work. Look at when we had riots in the streets, they have gas masks going, you don't.
Yeah.
But you can learn to make those things. You can actually learn to make a gas mask. If you don't have the money, you just got to go out there and look, and like, you follow people, they'll show you how to make it, because there's people that make it just with everyday stuff, a soda bottle, some cotton, a tube, and
Okay.
it's insane. I would like to try it first, but it
Yeah.
seems to work. Yeah. um, it, there's a lot of ways to cut around. Erica, my fly family, she's really good at finding a lot of really good deals on Amazon, and I think she's going to talk about on her channel later on, and how to find things. The 99-cent store, you can get a lot of prepping items. Walmart, you can go to secondhand stores. They have a lot of stuff there that people gave away, not realizing, you're going to need this sooner or later, but you'll have
Right.
the opportunity to get that. There's army surplus stores. There's estate sales, especially if they're in military. Go through that stuff, and you'll be surprised at the stuff that you'll find. Yep, and
Yeah.
make it work for you.
I
Well, I
would
can
say
tell you.
one.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I would, I would say one thing. Just be careful what you get from like dollar store or discount
Mhm.
stores like that because not everything is the best quality. You are paying for the qual like you get what you pay for over there. So they have some amazing things that are really cheap, and then
Yeah,
they have really bad things that are really cheap. And you want to test what you buy
right.
before you actually need it.
You're absolutely right.
And what I was going to say is, if you happen to make one of those masks,
Hmm.
please do a video of you taking some spicy sauce to it,
Yeah,
just just to make sure that it works.
right, absolutely. That's what I was saying. I want to see if it really works. I've seen two videos like that, so it's like,
Mhm.
I wonder if that really works. Give them a secret place to shop. You can give them my secret place to shop. You're Erica? Okay. So Erica shops on Shopaholics
Okay.
on Facebook. You have to request to be inside there, but they have deals that are out of this world, and they have a lot of survival stuff, power banks,
Okay.
like you name it, they have it inside there. You just have to wait for the sale to come, and you can get a lot of that stuff at a decent price that you may need. So
I'm
it's
writing that down, by the way.
Yeah.
Shopaholics. She's actually gonna
Shop
do
on.
a video in regards to it. So
Okay.
when she does it, I'll shoot it out to you guys. I'll let you guys know when she drops it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'll put it in our Discord as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be helpful.
Yep, and you're gonna find a lot of stuff. Yeah,
it
I,
seems
I
like Erica puts out a lot of content on her page, so
yes.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely go follow her
Yep.
because that's what we're here for. We want to definitely network our own communities with one another, and because like you said, we can learn so much from
Absolutely.
others.
Absolutely. I'll put you in touch with Hutch and his team. They,
Okay.
they cover a whole lot. I've learned quite a lot from them. So, yep, there's a lot of people out here that you can mix and mingle with and learn a lot from. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I know we're coming up on our time, so I just want to end my part with you saying I appreciate you coming on. This was really cool. It
Thank you
was
so much.
interesting. You kind of got my brain running, which I'm always a student, so I love to learn. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you. I thank you for having me. I enjoy I enjoyed my whole time, the entire time.
And thank you for sharing all your knowledge with us.
Thank you.
You're
Anytime.
you're natural at giving out all this advice. I can tell like you've been really studying everything
Yeah. I've been
because
watching, paying
Well, you,
attention.
and you got some good people on here from your
Yes.
crew
you do.
that's kind of
Yes.
helping with that information too. So that's definitely
Right.
Absolutely. Thank
So
you. I love them. Yep. We learn from each other all the time.
yeah, I
We're
agree.
more than happy to come back whenever you guys want to, or have you guys over to my channel. Feel free to come on over.
I mean,
And
would they be okay with this? I'll have to shave first, you know.
no problem. No problem. Absolutely.
It's good. So, Carbon, tell them where they can find you. So that
CarbonQ on YouTube. I'm so simple. Just CarbonQ on YouTube. If you see the other CarbonQ, that's what is it? A car wax thing. That's not
okay.
me. It's the other CarbonQ, and that's about it.
All
I'm
right, so I'm sorry, I gotta ask, like,
using.
what's the meaning behind the name? Is there like
It's just I don't know. I picked that name. Okay, so it's oh boy. When I originally saw the material for the what was it? It was for a gun holster, and it was the carbon material. I just
hmm,
liked it. I liked the way
Okay.
it sounds. And further digging into the name, it actually suits me to a T. And I just liked the letter Q because it was so unique and it went well together. And I just
Wait.
wanted something short and short and
Yeah.
to so you couldn't forget it.
Well, I'm still really sad that we never got you a holster before we shut down.
I know
I
I
was
would.
like waiting so long. I was like, come on.
I got something else coming, but don't worry about it. It was all up. I know I won that, right?
Yeah, you did. You were
I
the
uh,
only one who didn't claim the holster. I was like,
I
everybody
know.
else wants
I
their
remember.
stuff.
Sarge, stop telling everybody my business.
I know. I'm,
so if
I didn't have a gun that you
it's okay.
from. So
It's okay. No,
yeah.
I really wish we could have got you one because I
It's a,
definitely would have put it in carbon fiber.
oh, that would be awesome. Don't
Mhm.
worry about it. It'll be next time. Thank you though.
for anybody that wants to find Carbon Q,
Hi
Caleb
Chris.
was generous enough to put her information in the description below.
Thanks, Caleb.
So just click on that information after the live and make sure you go follow Carbon Q.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
so
let me
much.
do a shout out for Chris. Chris
Yep.
from the 740, thanks for coming, man. I
Hi.
really wish you could have jumped in a little bit earlier. and cut the whole stream, but we appreciate you being here. I know you're kind of busy doing stuff, so thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for having me. I had a great time. And I hope this gets you thinking and start prepping a little bit, a lot of bits.
It's
Are you ready?
definitely
Mhm.
it's definitely an ongoing process where, you know, you go to the grocery store, you see something, you might just want to get an extra can of something, put it aside, or
Mhm.
you-
And get it. Try to start doing it now because prices are going to go higher.
oh my God,
It
tell me
gets
about it.
higher. Yeah, yeah. Start getting your stuff together, guys. Inflation is just going to keep rising at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it's looking for sure.
Absolutely. So,
But yeah, it was good having you.
thank you.
I mean, I haven't got to talk to you like this yet, so this is like a weird way to meet each other, is like through a video camera. But
Yeah, neither have I. Like, we've always supported one another on social
Yep.
media, but never really had a deep down conversation,
Sure
like
and
did.
I
get in each other's brains.
right, and I think you got a lot of fans too because of that smile.
Thank you.
Your smile just lights up the whole stream. So
Thank you so much. Thank
we
you.
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
you.
Tech mentioned something about that. There you
Yeah.
go.
Thanks, Tech.
You're gonna get a whole bunch of fans because of that.
Come on over. Let's learn. Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, for spending some time with us.
We
And yep,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
Thank you all for coming. You want to
Yes.
finish out, Panda,
Yeah.
or you want me to go first or last?
You go, Sarge. I always have a hard time with coming up with something to say at the very end. I got to work on this for the next show.
So in this, we're gonna leave you guys. I appreciate you guys stopping and coming in. This is always awesome to see how many people we get. We did pretty well on this stream, so I'm happy you came around to support us and you came to support our new guest, CarbonQ, who's really awesome.
Thank
But I want to leave you guys with remembering to, you know, the whole control issue. You know, we can only control what we do. We can't control the exterior things, but we can influence the exterior by what we do and how we help each other and how we serve other people.
you.
So just take that with you. I know I wrote a big letter and stuff that went with my patches. So all of you guys that bought my patches, thank you. I appreciate that as well. So
Yeah, they're badass. I mean, you have a regular one and you have a glow in the dark one. So
yeah,
That's awesome. I have to get those.
I can take care of you. We'll talk about it after.
No problem.
regular and
See, now he's showing off.
Ah, shucks.
this one's glow in the dark if I turn
Nice.
off the light. You can't really tell in the video, but
That's
No,
awesome.
no, we loved it. I appreciate you as always, CarbonQ, and I hope to be on your show. I hope Panda will be there too.
yeah.
Because you're running what? What are your lives like on Saturday?
Saturday at 2. Yeah.
Okay,
Saturday at 2:30 actually. I'm sorry. 2:30.
gotcha. So
You
we'll
have
try
one
to
tomorrow?
schedule something.
Okay. You guys are welcome anytime. Absolutely.
Carbon, will you have a live tomorrow?
Yes, I'm actually gonna have a live tomorrow.
All right, guys, gals, make sure you subscribe to CarbonQ's channel then,
Yeah, I'd like
because
to see you.
you'll
Check her
get,
out.
I'm pretty sure you'll get a second dose of what you experienced today on tomorrow's live
Sure
on her
enough.
channel.
I love to. Absolutely love to have you there. You're all welcome. Please come through.
Thank you.
Thank
Some
you.
other preppers. You're gonna love it. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. On that note, you guys have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one in 2 weeks. We got Frank Castle Customs coming, so
Nice.
that'll be an interesting show, and I'm pretty excited about that because he's a really good dude and a good friend. So it'll be fun.
That's awesome. He does great
You're
work.
looking.
Yes, he does.
He does beautiful work. Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Be safe.
Hold the pose.